Hey, welcome to Hooper's Radar. I recently debated a guy by the name of Khalil on my recent episode of the Radar podcast on the topic of who's the better player right now between Giannis and Stephen Curry. We debated this over the span of 3 1-minute rounds and then had 3 judges from my podcast decide the winner. With that said, let's get into it.
I think Stephen Curry is better than Giannis Antetokounmpo because he's the best shooter in the NBA, the best off-ball player in the NBA, one of the 5 best playmakers in the NBA, and he's still one of the best guard finishers in the NBA. His defense is a neutral. I think that brings more value than Giannis's elite defense, although it somewhat fell off from previous years, and Giannis's offensive inefficiencies. And Curry's overall floor raising in the playoffs offensively is unheard of. Even in the Kings series where he had a lot of players just shooting the Warriors out of the game, and he still found a way to win that series, even though they had a lackluster offense without him. Like, their offense is like damn near the worst offense in the NBA when he's off the court. Klay Thompson was shot chucking in that Lakers series. Andrew Wiggins wasn't really doing good on this catch and shoot jumpers that series. Dante DiVincenzo really didn't give you anything, and he still went to 6 games with the Lakers, who were like one of the best defenses in the playoffs. And that overall team cast literally like relies on Curry heavily. Even in the 2022 championship run, Curry had to carry the load against the Mavericks. The Celtics were the best defense in the playoffs by far.
All right, Khalil. Oh, your time's up. I'll give you like an extra second, 2 seconds. I'm not going to lie either. All right, let me put myself up here now. All right, I'll start the timer when I start speaking. So to begin, Giannis Antetokounmpo has already accomplished a lot at the age of 27. This guy has already won a championship, been a defensive player of the year. He already has 7 All-Stars to his name, and he's done the biggest goal of winning an NBA championship. I think what Giannis has the most over Stephen Curry is the two-way ability. Stephen Curry has never been a good defender, let alone even a mediocre one. Stephen Curry has been a liability on defense at times, and that's where I believe Giannis edges him out. Giannis is one of the most elite two-way players in the league, a top-10 defender. Like I said, has a defensive player of the year to his name, had one of the biggest defensive clutch performances in the finals with that block on DeAndre Ayton, and he's shown countless times the ability to score the ball. Giannis is just as good of a scorer as Curry, and he doesn't even have a 3-ball. This is a guy who's averaged 30 points per game in a season multiple times, just like Curry has done it on better efficiency without even taking 3-pointers. And I think Giannis is just a better player. He's already shown he can be a great leader. And if we're talking accolades, it seems like Giannis could accomplish more than Curry, considering he's accomplished already a lot at a young age. I actually just hit 1 minute exactly, but yeah.
All right, you can put the screen up on me.
All right, I got you. Right.
First thing I want to attack is mainly everything you said about Giannis doesn't have anything to do with this season. There's definitely a defensive drop-off. So bringing up his 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, where he's a much better defender. He can play on the perimeter, a way more high-motor defender. Doesn't really mean anything. Bringing up his finals performance doesn't matter because it's 2023. That's like me bringing up 2017 and 18 Curry, even though he's a different player now. And also, there's no argument to say Giannis is a better scorer than Steph. The efficiency that Steph brings is just way better. The overall load that Steph brings to our offense is way more than Giannis. Steph is way less schemable than Giannis. He's way more resilient against better defenses in the playoffs than Giannis. And in the playoffs in 2022, Giannis was a horrible finisher against the 2022 Celtics. He basically shot his team out the game in Game 7. He provided no value aside from rim running. He couldn't play make at a high level unless it's transition. Even then, Steph is still one of like the 5 best transition players in the NBA right now. And the playmaking is not even close. And you said Steph has never even been a mediocre defender, which is just a lie. In 2022, he was still a plus defensively on that 2022 Warriors defensive unit. He was a great communicator. Great.
Time's up, Khalil. All right. I see P5 hyped in the back, man. All right. Let me I'll start when I start talking. So all right. So you brought up the point that Giannis isn't really as good of a playmaker as Stephen Curry, and that's where I completely disagree. I think people overrate Stephen Curry's playmaking. Stephen Curry isn't really that much of a true point guard. He's more of a shooting guard, in my opinion, who plays more off of the primary ball handler on his team, Draymond Green. Stephen Curry's never been the primary ball handler of his team. Giannis has been the primary ball handler when he had Eric Bledsoe back in the days. Now that Drew Holiday is on this team, he isn't the primary ball handler anymore, but he's been the primary ball handler longer. And Giannis averages about the same assist numbers as Curry. So I think Giannis not only is the better two-way player than Stephen Curry, I think he's also the better playmaker, and he's way better at driving kicking. When have you seen Stephen Curry drive and kick? That's why I believe Giannis provides more value. He's more of a point forward than Stephen Curry is a point guard. Let's be honest, Stephen Curry plays very off ball and on ball at the same time, and that's just where I think Giannis completely edges out Stephen Curry. We've just seen so much more production on that side. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. I will put you on right now.
To say Giannis is even in the same realm as Curry as a playmaker is just really an untrained eye. Assist isn't even playmaking either. Stephen Curry is a way better off-ball playmaker. Yes, that is playmaking. This is not 2011 where playmaking is just a true point guard. That's not how it works. Even in the pick and roll, Curry's still one of the best playmakers in the league. He unlocks Draymond in the short roll. Teams have to hard hedge on Curry in the pick and rolls, which spreads the floor, and where the Warriors get a lot of back cuts and open layups because he's pulling away the defender from the rim. That's why the Warriors always lead the league in the most wide open layups, which is the most efficient shot in basketball, which Curry gives his teammates frequently. And when you talk about playmaking in the playoffs, he still opens up the portal for people like Jordan Poole, for people like Klay Thompson, for people like Andrew Wiggins to succeed at a high level. And also, the driving kick is not moving me as much because when teams collapse on Giannis and they take away his vision in passing lanes, he's also not that much of an accurate passer. Sometimes he can be willing, but sometimes he just does blind rim runs to the rim. And I don't see any argument how that can be better than Curry's. And to disregard the
Time's up, Khalil. Time's up. All right, so we're going to be heading to the third round. It's my last chance and Khalil's last chance to continue proving our points. All right. I'll be starting right now. So you brought up the point that when Giannis isn't having it going on offense, his playmaking isn't really as good. But when Stephen Curry doesn't have it going on offense, Stephen Curry is a complete liability everywhere else. You can't put this man to really guard much on defense. He really just provides stretching the floor and creating other opportunities for his teammate with the level of gravity that he has. When Giannis can't get it going on offense, you can still rely on Giannis to be a very good defender. This is still an all-defensive caliber team, and we all know that defense wins championships. I know a famous man once said that offense does, but that's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant hasn't won anything since the Warriors, and the Warriors needed a very good defense to win a championship. So what Giannis brings when he can get it going on offense is much more than what Curry can bring when he doesn't have it going on offense. And that's my main point I'm going to be bringing up. Giannis is just as good of a scorer as Curry is, and I think to wrap up my argument, he will accomplish more than Curry. He's already accomplished not accomplished more than Curry, but he has the chance to accomplish more than Curry. He's already done a lot at a young age. After a competitive debate, we went to the judges, and all three of them scored Khalil as the winner of the debate. Shout out to Khalil for debating me on this topic and providing a great argument to my points. Let me know who you guys think is the better player between Curry and Giannis in the comments. If you guys are interested in checking out the other debates that happened, episode 1 of The Radar has all 5 debates. Feel free to check that out. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe to stay on the radar for all things basketball.